Yeah, but they check me, so.
Okay, well, he'll take it.
Hi, Danny. How you doing? How you doing? How everybody doing? Good?
Very good.
First question. Daddy, why did you find the toughest fight of your career so easy? And I'm reversing that because you handle them like an amateur. They got to know what to do. You shine them 3 or 4 times, was confused. He couldn't fight you in the clinches. What turned all this aura about him being so tough?
Hard work. You know, I had a good training camp. I had good sparring partners. But I felt like I had the tougher fight. So even though I'm a younger fighter, I had more experience than him in championship fights, and I fought good opposition before. So I think that played a big part in just the hard work and the confidence.
Danny, the fight I think solidified you as one of the elite fighters in the game. But for a long time, people talked about the fact that having your father in the corner, he was a detriment. I think this fight validated you as an elite fighter and him as a hell of a trainer.
Yeah, no doubt. We always been elite since the amateurs. We was top amateurs, and we always knew we were top pros. And we feed off each other's energy, and we just good chemistry. We know how to win.
Angel, you made your adjustments during the fight. Can you talk about that? Yeah, I mean, besides the smack, but you made adjustments during the fight, and just like I said, it showed both of you guys.
Exactly, because that was the game plan. The game plan was to destroy Matiz. I mean, Matiz never fought a level of fighter like that. I mean, he was the underdog on people's eye, but we knew he was the champion. And we knew Matiz never fought nobody like Danny, ever. That was the first guy he ever had stepped it up with Danny, with a 32. He never stepped it up with people like Danny. And we knew the game plan was to 2 or 3 shots and dominate and step to the side, because we knew Matiz was going to come and depend on power, but people got in his head with that. So he came with the mentality. They didn't have an A and a B. They only had an 8. All they had in their mind was knock Danny out. They looked at Danny who was going to come in and knock him out, and that was the end of the world. He was playing the champ of the world. So, the world got shot. I wasn't shot. I was out. I mean, the thing is that they always underestimated Danny since he was young. I don't know why, and myself, but it's not about me, it's about the champ.
Now, Danny, Angel, now as we all know with the Ring Magazine, the situation with them where the brother over here has not been on the cover, has they even hollered at you at this time, though? You know what I mean? They call you up saying you going to be on that mag, anything like that?
I think they called him.
Yeah, they called me, but I mean, it wasn't about the magazine. It was just the point. They put a lot of fighters on there. It doesn't matter. Because, it could be anybody.
I know.
They did it at the time.
To me, it matters. I mean,
no, it didn't matter.
You're the ring champion.
I'm not mad that they didn't put me on the cover.
Yeah.
Because I don't care.
Of course. We don't understand that, but
it was just the timing of the fight.
Exactly, that time.
They're going to put him on there the month before I fight, and I'm the Ring Magazine champion.
And you've been doubted constantly with each of your recent fights.
Yeah.
Does that energize you? And if it does, what's going to happen when they stop doubting you?
No, I was just like, fights like that, just give me fights of that magnitude, give me that extra push and that, because I always work hard, but it's just that extra, it's in my, in my soul, and it brings out the best of me, them kind of fights. So it's not about being the underdog or the guy who's picked to win. It's just fights of that magnitude bring the best out of me.
You're one of the names among many who mentioned as a possible Floyd opponent. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot.
What comment do you have on that?
It means a lot. Floyd's been a champion for 17 years. I've been a champion for 2 years. So, just for people to put my name in the same category as him as being a potential, fight with him, it means a lot. It's because I'm making noise in the boxing game.
Now, Danny, as we know,
So it seems kind of ironic that Khan is being talked now as the next opponent. Get the hell out of Khan. I think you should be fighting for it.
I
but
that's
feel like,
there's no doubt in my mind now.
Yeah,
I wasn't down.
Exactly. No, you're right.
There's no doubt in my mind now.
Exactly.
You can make it happen, beat him. And every time you fought before, after the Matiz fight, I was looking poorly. Even Paulie said on TV, he said, I don't know how. I wasn't putting you down. He said, I don't know how he's going to beat him. I can take a punch in the way he came at him. And I started to doubt my son, though. He says, he's going to do it. And he did do it. So with Floyd, now I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to beat him.
Yeah.
But that's a year away. As we all know, Floyd is not trying to fight until next year. And I know you love to stay active. You got all these fights all the time. Now, you're in a junior welterweight champion.
Yep.
Are you thinking, I mean, there's pretty much no one in the junior welterweight division right now that can't even think of touching you. Are you thinking of moving up to the welterweight division or anything?
You know, I'm in a position right now as being the champion. Like, I definitely prove myself at 140. Where I could fight the fights I want to fight at 140 now. But it's really not a lot of fights in that weight class for me. But it's gonna be a little tough decision because I fought hard for them belts. I just don't want to let nobody else fight for a vacant belt. But I'm getting to that point. Maybe I will move up, maybe I won't. But if anything, I'll do one more at 140.
So is there anyone on your radar in that weight class?
At 140?
Yep, your weight class. You see anyone that you want to step in there with?
Man, I just let them.
Is that possible?
I'm not really interested in a rematch because
Exactly.
No,
destroyed.
He wasn't a champion.
Exactly. He the champion.
I wasn't a champion.
The
So
thing
I'm
is this, the only reason, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
The only reason Morales got a rematch because Morales underestimated Danny. He thought he was going to go in there and play with Danny and destroy Danny and call himself Professor Morales. The only reason we gave Morales a rematch because Morales underestimated Danny, and I wanted to show the world that Danny went the distance with Morales because Danny gave him that little respect, and I wanted Danny to go in there and just take him out quick. Okay. So that was the plan.
And he gave me the
fight.
opportunity too.
Exactly. So he gave him the opportunity to become champion, so he deserved the rematch. That's the only reason. We wasn't trying to be selfish.
That's
so we gave him a rematch. That's the only reason.
In Vegas, I hate to take credit, but I did pick you to win.
Yeah.
A lot of the media was picking you to lose, you know what I mean? And I called it just like it happened. But doing the weigh-in, was that scale really messed up, or was you a half a pound over? Are you struggling to make 140? I mean, I interviewed in Philly a couple of weeks before the fight. And you said if you beat Matisse, you cleaned up the weight division, so it don't make sense to stay at 140.
Yeah.
So I mean, the next best thing is to move to 47. So is there a doubt, or is that what you're really going to do for your next?
No, as far as the scale situation,
Rocking.
it was a lot of people in the front,
Rocking back and forth.
and it just kept going up. So I was like, and then I was like, oh, everybody back up, and then I got on the scale. Because I woke up at 140. So I woke up in the morning, I was 140. Then usually by the time I get to the weigh-in, I'm under 140. So when it went up, I was like, oh man, like.
We underestimated the skill difference, bro. Like we knew it was wrong.
Obviously, Matisse early in the fight had some
like
success. When during the fight did you say to yourself, I got this?
No, that was the game plan. He's a strong puncher, so we wasn't going to go in there and be aggressive. We were going to let him wear down a little bit. I told him, I was like, Pop, I'm going to give him the first couple rounds, It might be 3-2, 5 rounds him.
You'll feel him out.
When did you realize, everything's working? What round did you say, okay, I got this?
At one point of the fight, I think it was about the 4th round on down. It was just like his punches seemed slow to me, and it was just like everything he threw, I was able to just counter or just beat him to the punch because that's what I was doing all night. I was just beating him to the punch, and I was moving.
Were you surprised that? I mean, obviously they built him up to be this vicious.
I don't take no credit away from him. He is who he is, and he did what he did. Remember that?
Exactly.
You can't take none of that away from him just because I beat him. I mean, like, but he's a strong fighter, but. Like I said before, I was on a different level than him.
On that note, Danny.
Yeah, he's strong. He moved a couple good shots to the body.
So on that note, Floyd, you fought on the undercard, the major event, the biggest racing heavy event of all time. How has that changed you with fights going forward now? Has that set the scale for you to be on a different level compared to your previous fights?
We have to see, but as far as exposure, like everywhere I go now, people know who I am. I was walking around New York, everybody knew I can't walk in the mall no more in Philly, so it's just like my life changed like overnight. So I'm just blessed, man. I'm ready to do bigger and better things.
Can you talk about? You said you're Philadelphia fighter. We're talking Frazier. We're talking Georgie Benton. Can you talk about how important that was in your victory and how you represented Philly? What that meant to you?
Oh man, it's very important for me because I'm born and raised in Philadelphia. My parents were born in Puerto Rico, so I'm a Puerto Rican kid from Philadelphia. Not only being, I'm very proud to be from Philadelphia, but I'm also proud that I'm the first Latino world boxing champion out of Philadelphia. And when I go to my gym every day, it's just like all these Latino kids boxing, and they looking good. I'm like, man, when I was coming up, I didn't fight against no Latino fighters. So it's just like you see young Latino fighters fighting and being
Motivated.
sharp, and they come to me, and I'm proud, man. I'm just proud, you know, they got motivation.
Do you see yourself as a fighter?
Do I have a favorite Philly fighter?
History, you know.
Well, you know, a lot of like Bernard, he's more my era. Like guys before that, I was like, you know, I was too young. Yeah, I wasn't even out of my dad's sex.
Joey Giardello, Joe Frazier.
Yeah.
Do you
How
see
have you
yourself
found
as,
fame helps give back to the community? And you talked about young Philly fighters.
Yeah.
How have you helped them? How have you helped?
Oh yeah, no
young
doubt.
Philly fighters?
I built a gym in my old neighborhood. My Danny Swift Garcia boxing gyms where I grew up. So it's in my neighborhood. All the kids from my old neighborhood come to the gym every day. You know, I built a barber shop there. My dad got a small mechanic shop, detail shop in where I grew up. So not only are we helping the community with the boxing gym, we are bringing jobs to the neighborhood and helping other people. And people thank me every day for that.
Danny, before the 14th, I read somewhere that Adrian Broner was saying that my boy Garcia is going to take out Matisse.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean you guys are close enough friends where you would consider fighting him?
At the end of the day, you know, it's a business. So any fight can be made. But as far as us fighting anytime soon, I don't think it will make any sense because we're still building to that.
Good question.
It would be underwatched.
I'm just asking if Broner made it public. He doesn't have
No.
Floyd, so I'm thinking maybe he might not want to fight you ever.
No, Broner's a cool dude.
How do you see that fight going down with Adrian Broner and Maidana? How do you see it?
Oh, it's gonna be a good fight because Madonna, man, he comes to fight, but Broner, he's got to use his skills, and beat him, he just can't be flat-footed. And then I think he won the fight pretty easy if he doesn't stand in front of him. He got to use his skills.
And your good friend Gabby Rosado, he's fighting.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. How you see that one going down?
That's another good fight actually. Gabi's known as the tough fighter, but he has skills too. And Kinchakli, he's a hard worker, man. He's an impressive fighter. So I think it's gonna be a good fight, and I'm gonna be there watching it.
Angel, can you talk about with a little pride how you felt in the display that he put on in the last fight, and at the same time the redundance about you want the right trainer for him?
Well, the thing is that I always knew, like I never doubted that. See, I always teach Danny because boxing is basically 90% mental. I never trained Dan like an opponent. He's no opponent. Like when Danny in 2008, he became the alternate because with the politics of he should have been the 2008 Olympian. And they wanted to use him as a sponsor. I said, he's not a sponsor, he's the champ. And y'all making a mistake. That's why it was the worst in 2008 Olympian team. 2008 was the worst American team. Well, from there on down, haven't been a great team since. I guess they got cursed. But the thing is that, what was another question?
The thing was, one is how you felt in the great victory that he just had. And also, too, like I said, it's been the talk of father and son combination.
Oh, yeah,
work,
but yeah,
the wrong guy.
No, but that's okay. They can talk all they want because I've been in his science and he was 10 years old. So I'm either wrong.
See, a lot of trainers.
Anybody can go to the gym and anybody can come steal Danny right now.
A lot of trainers train you in the gym, but don't show you how to
This is how a lot of trainers train.
And that's the difference between him and a lot of trainers.
The difference between me and a lot of trainers is that a lot of trainers put you to spar and teach you how to get beat up. So by the time you get Danny's age, you all punch drunk. Look at Danny's face. The only reason he got these scars because of the headbutt. Oh, and Morales punched at the last round, 11th round.
I got him back for that.
But the thing, smack. He knew better because he said, damn, my dad ain't harder than Matisse. Hold on. I can't go back to the corner, but they can say all they want. It doesn't matter to me because I know I'm happy and he's happy. Listen, you can have 20,000 fighters. Doesn't mean you're a good trainer. Doesn't mean that half for them come to you grown men already. I mean, they already made champions. Anybody could do that. I can make him, and then you're a coach with a book that's telling people how to box and all. There's 20,000 million ways to train a fighter. So there is no correct way to train a fighter because in the 18th century they fought like this. How you know this is not the right way to fight? And then they turned it like this. So how you know this ain't the correct way to jab? So it's 20,000 million ways to train fighters. All these high-tech trainers that make all these books and all that, come on, it's a bunch of baloney. Because they asked me one time that question, who I train? I look up to trainers. I said, why should I look up to the trainers? They're not the ones getting punched. I look up to the fighters. But it doesn't matter to me because I'm happy with Danny. And I know what Danny can give me. So when I speak, I know behind that voice is somebody's going to back it up. I can't do that with nobody else. I can't put my life in risk. Like I said, I was gonna chop my head off, but then he lost. I can't do that with everybody. You know what I mean?
That's what I was about to say. I'm glad that you won, so you have to do it. Well, aren't you the only Puerto Rican world champion?
From Philadelphia. Right oh yeah, right now, yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think it's another guy. What's that one kid's name? I think his name's forgot his name. I think his name's Martinez or something. Yeah, him, he's a world champion, right? Yeah, he's a world champion.
You
right?
Smacking Danny, didn't you take a book out of Tito Tigre?
That's making more noise.
It was just not because the last time when he was fighting Zab,
Danny, talk to me
I screamed in his ear. What happens is, you know, somebody ever screamed in your ear, and then you know your ear just hit the brain and wants to make you turn around.
I got hit in my ear, and I couldn't hear my ear. So when he was talking to me, I was like, huh? So he thought something was wrong with me, but I was like, I can't hear my ear.
Last time I screamed in his ear because I know the drum, the eardrum, it vibrates into the brain and it gives you that.
I'm fully, I'm up, I just can't hear you.
I screamed in his ear to wake him up. Because you know, fighters get into that zone.
That's like some Tito Trinidad.
They looking at you, but they're not there.
A lot of people saw that as
exactly, they're not there because they could have got hit with a shot. To you, they still standing, they still fighting, but basically they probably don't remember after the fight.
With everything you're doing for Philly, have you thought about maybe throwing, you know, since you basically pick your own fights, your own venue, putting a fight on in Philly with a lot of the Philly fighters on the undercard? I also know you have Swift Attraction Music, you know, even do it a complete show, you know, a concert part of it.
Between the fights and stuff like that. I was talking about that earlier, like throwing a fight.
Because
people starting
trust me, I've seen a lot of the things you've done and everything you're talking about, you know, what you do for the city. I just think with all the Philly fighters that are coming out now, it would definitely be a good attraction.
Yeah, will definitely.
And the fact that you have plenty of places in Philly to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been thought about that, but like I said, first you got to make your mark in the game before you.
And you don't feel like you've done that with?
No, I feel like I did now. I feel like I've been there, to be honest with you. But it's just you know, I guess I don't know. I guess the promoters and stuff don't think Philly's like a marketable place for boxing, but I don't know. I don't know, but. We'll figure it out.
We're gonna start working.
That's one of my goals. I want to do one in Philly and I want to do one in Puerto Rico. That's my plan.
Well, Puerto Rico, you know, you're gonna sell out automatically.
Yeah,
not a problem with that. It's just, you know, because a lot of people are talking about, you know, the only two places for you to have a fight right now, besides like Vegas and the West Coast, like on the East Coast, would either be Atlantic City or the Garden or here. You know, it just. You being a Philly fighter and all the Philly fighters, it seems like you all have to come to Jersey to kind of, you know, throw on a big show, or New York, you know. I just think, you know, having a possibility of doing something in Philly for the fans and go from there.
Yeah, I would love to, man. Exactly. That's one of my dreams, to have a world championship fight in Philly. You know, there's a lot of history in Philly, like Sugar Ray Leonard fought in Philly before. You know, a lot of fighters, great fighters fought in Philly. So I would love to bring it. Yeah, Bernard. I would love to bring a championship fight back.
Yeah, because you see a lot of guys, you build your record in Philly, and then all of a sudden you say become someone, become a champion.
You know how many times we fought? You know how many times we fought in Philly?
How many?
We only fought one time.
I think twice.
Twice.
Solo Boxeo.
No, three times.
Yeah, with under Car and Bernard, Solo Boxeo, and
two Solo Boxeo and Bernard Car.
Yeah, exactly.
So weight classes aside, when do you think you'd return to the ring?
Huh?
Weight classes aside, when do you think we'd like to see you again in the ring?
Oh man, you know, I really didn't take no punishment. If they book me for a fight tomorrow, I'll be ready.
So who do you see in the junior welterweight that you wouldn't mind getting in there right now? I mean, anyone that you want to, you know, specifically get in there and just.
Right now, I don't. You know, I really don't know. Like, to be honest with you, it's I don't know, man. I really don't.
See, the thing about that is, when you don't never want to call names because then it might bite you.
One thing is always going to be somebody. There's always going to be somebody coming up. They're going to be like, here, I got
exactly.
Exactly.
He's ready for whoever. Whoever Golden Boy wanted to put, whoever Al Heyman says, they pick him, I train him, he fights him.
But being a Puerto Rican champ, wouldn't one day you feel you want to go back to Puerto Rico? And fight?
That's what that's what I just said. I want to either do one in Philly and I want to do one in Puerto Rico. I think that'll be great for my career.
Because people are also talking about it.
Yeah.
You're living in Conta, Danny from Puerto Rico.
Oh, you're right.
I'm going to Puerto Rico in a few weeks.
Yeah. You're going to get a bandstand?
I'm gonna go out there.
You're gonna meet Tito Trinidad and all them people out there.
He talked to him on the phone already.
Yeah.
What part of Puerto Rico you guys from?
Nahuabo. That's in between Macao and Fajardo.
What's it called?
Nahuabo.
Naguamo.
Yeah, that's it. And then my wife is from Guayama.
I was actually in Bayamon.
No, she's born in Bayamon, but raised in Guayama.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Are you getting a lot of
Philly Rican.
work on that Spanish?
Yeah, no
He knows
doubt.
Spanish. He can talk to him Spanish. He understands.
Press
Yeah. He did the radio station today all in Spanish. Like
Yeah?
he spoke back in English, but they talked to him where he
I
meant
talked
it.
to a lot of people in Puerto Rico, and they love this studio over there. So when you over there, be ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna be ready.
They come.
I mean, everybody in Puerto Rico speak English now anyway, so I'm cool. That's like being in New York.
You're right. I remember when I was a kid, nobody spoke English.
Oh, well, let me tell
That was
you.
a long time ago.
Let me tell you. Last night,
You're right though.
last night I saw a Gran Combo at Radio City Music Hall, and all they did was speak Spanish. El que no habla español, forget about it. It was all,
That's back in
it was
our
beautiful
time,
culture.
exactly.
Yeah, it was Spanish.
Exactly.
And all the non-Spanish is, what do you say?
So they had the problem.
Yeah, they have the problem.
Any Puerto Rican fighters you watched growing up?
Oh yeah, I watched all the Puerto Rican fighters from when I was, I watched Trinidad. I watched Cotto. Cotto's one of my favorite fighters. I watched Juan Lopez.
So since
Yeah,
you watched
Camacho,
Trinidad,
yeah.
your father took a book out of his father.
Yeah, I know. I remember
It worked for you.
Yeah, but the
For
thing
him,
about that
towards
was,
the end, it didn't. But it
Remember-
definitely.
that's because he did it so much.
Remember
He was just
didn't
used to
fight-
getting smacked.
Remember when he didn't get smacked? He fought, who was it he fought?
When he fought
was it?
Bernard,
Yeah,
they
Bernard.
said he didn't
They
smack
said that he
him.
smacked, he sold him out. They say that he sold him out.
That's hard. It's so
That's what the fans are saying.
Yeah, that's what the fans were saying.
You
I
being
said
a
that
Philly
too.
fighter and being down there, do you see any? Do you see any guys from Philly you see coming up?
Talent?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see a lot of new talent, man. I see a lot of young kids, man. It's a lot of kids.
Help some of them. You help get their names out, by mentioning because you see them and on a
There
daily
was this
basis.
kid named Brandon Pizarro. He's like 100. I think he's 119 pounds. He just won like the ringside. He won the Golden Gloves before.
Probably
So
out of Cali
he's
now,
also a Latino
yeah.
kid. There's a lot of kids coming out to win the national championships from out of Philly. So Philly got a good young crowd coming up.
All right, Joe. Danny, a couple last words for your fans out in Poland.
Shout out to all my fans in Poland. We did it again. Keep supporting me. I love you guys.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah.